Y'all ready?
Okay.
Yes, we're ready.
Here we go. Hello, everybody. Hello. We're already hype. I'm sorry. This is going to be a very energetic episode. Maybe just for me. I've already been sipping on my drink. So first and foremost, before I get started, I feel like this is a well-deserved shout out. Because we've been sitting here for maybe the last hour and a half. And
yes.
Christian has just been phenomenal in getting us set up with our sound. He's doing this, pro bono, because he's awesome and he loves na. So shout out to Christian.
We love you.
We love you. Thank you so much. Okay, now getting started. So today, guys, it is the day after Election Day. I hope you went out there and voted. Whoever you voted for, I hope you just had your voice heard.
Yes.
Yes. It'll be a packed episode. All this is going to relate to voting and whatnot. But first, let's talk about why I am so hype as fuck right now.
Yes.
No.
Because during the 2 hours that we've been, that Christian was working. We were not working. We're just chatting away. We've been drinking. We're drinking a daiquiri. And it's not what you think a daiquiri would be. When you think of daiquiri, it's like a frozen strawberry drink. Mm-hmm. But that's not what we're drinking. Everybody looks at it.
Looks at it.
Look at it.
If you look at it, it looks like a margarita.
It does, actually, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but what it is Bacardi, lime, and agave.
Ooh, so simple.
Also,
so
simple. Very simple.
Yeah.
3 ingredients, except I added a little bonus.
Ooh,
I added Spanish lime or a mamoncillo. So yeah, that's what's in it.
Why are we drinking this?
So Susan B. That's one of the women that
I will be
talking about
we're going to be speaking about today.
Yes.
So Susan B. is one of the girls.
Pioneer.
She was, we love you, Susan, but honey.
We love what you did for women.
Yeah, we love what you did, but we don't agree on everything. That's okay. I think that's part of what we are. We don't agree on everything, but that's fine.
It's okay.
She was a part of the temperance movement, which led to the prohibition. Yeah. Prohibition era, people were kind of getting the drinks from underground, and you don't really know what's going on. Wow. And many times the drinks ended up not being great, you know? Right. They don't know where this shit's coming from. Right. So they started importing from Cuba. Oh. And that's where Bacardi comes in. Yeah. Bacardi's been around for forever.
Yeah.
I had no idea until I researched the shit, but Bacardi was imported from Cuba, and then the daiquiri came along with it. Oh. So that era, somebody made the daiquiri, and that's what we're drinking today.
That's awesome. So good. I thought it was a mojito. It legit looks like
it's very
mojito. Yeah, it's mojito-y.
It's mojito-y.
Trademark.
You guys are making me cringe every time you say mojito.
Oh my gosh.
It's a mojito.
Mojito. Okay, and this is what mamoncillo is. It's a little lime. It looks just like a lime.
Ooh.
It's a little baby thing. And I've never had... Oh, shit.
So sorry. That was me throwing a coaster on the ground.
I've never had one of these, so let's try it on camera.
Oh.
It looks like...
It does look like a little lime.
A little lime or a calamansi. If you are, for all my...
And then, it's like a lychee. You just slip it on out. That's what she said.
That's what she said. You said it before me. Dang it. All right. Here we go. Cheers. Cheers. Wait, what's it?
Cheers.
Wait, okay. All right, here we go. Mine just fell into 2 pieces.
What?
The seed.
Yes, the seed is huge. It's like an avocado.
It's drying out my mouth.
It has a consistency of a grape.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or a lychee.
Mm-hmm. Are y'all enjoying this ASMR? I'm sorry. I
really
hate
gross.
it. I'm trying to get everything off of it. It's so...
The flesh is hard to get off of the nut.
Do you mean the seed?
Stop.
Yes, so sorry.
She has been saying this all night, and it is killing me.
Honestly, it's kind of gross. I don't know if they want to see this. It's hard to, I've been sucking on this for a while.
Oh my god.
Oh, have you?
There's still so much, fruit on it.
All right. Thanks, Hannah.
You're welcome.
Yeah. What?
Oh.
Yeah. Go.
What they were trying to say is if you want to follow Hannah and want to see this video how she created it, go to our Instagram at Tipsy Broad History Podcast and click on IGTV and watch Hannah create this awesome drink for us.
I'm so sorry,
That's
people.
why there's 3 of us here, guys, because we're...
At least one of us would have it together at some point throughout this.
All right, so without further ado, this is a jam jam-packed episode. Hold on to your britches. You gonna learn today.
Your britches.
Is that how they talked back in 1870?
I don't know. But that's a Southern thing. Like, hold on to your britches.
That's Southern.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think. I don't know.
Miss, I'm from New York. I don't consider myself a
but
Southerner.
Listen, okay, can you get my damn ears to roast me, man? Lechon time up in this bitch.
Okay.
We don't even know what lechon time is.
Should we actually tell everybody what lechon time is?
What lechon time is?
So during this 2 hours of us just chilling, Hannah has been roasting my ass
for the past few days.
But left, right, up, down. I am burnt. So I started calling it lechon time because if you know what lechon is, it's that it's pig that gets roasted and it's the meat and it's all crunchy. So I was calling it lechon time, and we have created a song. I promise after this we'll get to the show. Here we go, guys. Ready? 1, 2, 3. It's lechon time. It's lechon time. It's lechon time. And scene.
So before I get started on this jam-packed episode, back in August, I was scrolling through Facebook because who doesn't do that?
Yeah,
unless I'm just an old person.
What's Facebook?
Do that.
Yeah, what is Facebook?
Oh,
I do TikTok.
And so I saw that they opened up a monument dedicated to these 3 women. And the 3 women are Susan B. Anthony, Elizabeth Cady, and Sojourner Truth. And this is a big deal because in Central Park, there aren't monuments dedicated to women that were actually alive and on Earth. They were just the fictional characters. Mm-hmm. So this monument was opened in August 26th of this year.
Oh, shoot. It's fresh.
Yeah, legit. And so it's super, super cool. And I'm going to read part of an article that is on hyperallergenic, written by Valentina Valentina
Delicia.
Yes, written
Delicioso.
written on August 27th of 2020. The reason why these 3 women were picked to be this monument is because they are the 3 eminent suffragists. They helped secure the passage of the 19th Amendment, which is the right for women to vote. Yeet. All right, so again, perfect for the day after election.
Yes.
Right, and they were also from New York, all 3 of them. So Stanton was actually the first woman to ever run for Congress in 1866, and she founded the National Women's Suffrage Association in New York City along with Susan B. Anthony.
Awesome.
In 1869. I know, these ladies are just on point.
Killing it, man.
Sojourner Truth escaped from slavery in New York in 1827 and joined the
abolitionist.
Thank you.
There you go.
Words.
We're educated.
Becoming one of the most important human rights advocates in the U.S. history, she delivered her groundbreaking speech, Ain't I a Woman?
Oh.
We'll talk about that in a little bit.
Okay.
At the Women's Rights Convention in Ohio in 1851. And then this is the paragraph that I was just like, yeah, I have to read this.
Okay.
All right, this monument is here to remind us of our past. Mm-hmm. It's here to remind us of our future, to continue to stand up for what's right, continue to stand up for what you believe in, and continue to stand up for equality.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly what we
love
are
that.
all about.
Yes.
All right, so let's get started. Now, I am going to go in order of the monument and how they did it. So first is Sojourner, then it's Susan B. Anthony, and then it's
Elizabeth Cady Stanton.
Let's start with Sojourner, okay? So I like this thing from biology.com. It says the Truth is remembered as one of the foremost leaders of the abolition movement and an early advocate of women's rights.
Yes.
So we're going to go through different parts of her life. I'm going to see how fast I can do this, yet also give out a lot of information.
Okay.
So she was born in 1797, and she was born as Isabel Baumfree. So she was a slave in a Dutch-speaking county in New York. Mm-hmm. Oh, sorry. All right.
We hit a mic.
Okay, go on.
That's okay. Her parents had 12 children, and at the age of 9, she was sold at an auction with a flock of sheep for $100.
Isn't that insane? To hear that. I mean, of course, we've said it before, as modern people, as modern women, obviously we think this is crazy, and for that time it was normal, but still it's like, wow.
So, yeah. So she was actually sold twice before the age of 13. Oh my god. And I know. But the last time she was sold, she stayed there for a while. Mm-hmm. And that's where she learned how to speak English. She only spoke Dutch beforehand.
Wow.
Oh,
that's
interesting.
Cool.
Yeah, I know. At the age of 18, she fell in love with another slave from a nearby farm. Mm-hmm. But that farmer, and they had a kid. Okay. And the kid was named Diana. But the guy's owner didn't like the relationship and made them end it because any baby that Truth would have it belonged to her master, and not his. And so they were like, we're going to cut this because they can't have any more kids.
What the
Isn't that
so messed up?
Yeah. So messed up. And so then she was forced to marry someone that the people owned. So in 1827, a year before New York's freed all slaves, and it went into effect, she ran away with her infant Sophia to a nearby abolitionist family, and they basically paid like a certain like $20 and bought her freedom. 1 year after she ran away, like New York was like, okay, there's no more slaves, right?
Yeah. Okay.
That family that owned her prior, they sold her 5-year-old son to Alabama illegally. The Van Wagners helped her sue the Dunmont family.
The dumb people.
And she won. Yeah, she was the first black woman to sue a white man in U.S. court and win.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, and this actually wouldn't be the last time she would be seen in court. So she gained custody of her son, and they stayed together until 1839. Another reason why the Van Wagners were really big is that they taught her Christianity. She became a devoted Christian, and this changed her life forever. And after that, like, she started working with local ministers and participating in religious revivals, and she actually ended up becoming a speaker because of this. Yeah,
cool.
and while she was speaking, she felt the Holy Spirit, and she was like, you know what? I'm gonna preach the truth, and I'm gonna rename myself Sojourner Truth. So that's where her name comes from.
I like how she changed her name.
Yes,
girl.
So she never learned how to read and write, right? She never learned how to do it. But she didn't want her autobiography to be, gone. So she actually dictated it to Olivia Gilbert. And she also, through her book, she actually got to meet Susan B. Anthony and Cady Stanton. Okay, so in 1857, she delivered an improvised speech at the Ohio Women's Rights Convention, which we talked about, and it's called Ain't I a Woman. Now, that is it was like...
Is it, wait, Ain't I a Woman?
That's the speech.
I thought you said anti-woman.
Yeah, I was like, hold on.
I'm confused at the
Ain't
moment.
I a Woman, which was kind of eye-raising for a lot of people, because she wasn't born in the South, so for her to use that Southern idiom was, it brought up a lot of attention to her. I didn't really see a lot of research on her, what she did for women, more as what she did for the black community.
Yeah.
She recruited black troops for the Union Army during the Civil War. She worked for the National Freedmen's Relief Association in Washington, D.C. She met with President Lincoln. And roughly 95 years before Rosa Parks, she decided to ride in a streetcar that was designated only for white people. The guy was very violent, and so then she was like, "Oh no, honey!"
No, hunty.
Exactly.
Okay.
On the honey, and then she took him to court and also won. So she moved, in her later years, she moved to Michigan with her daughter, and she began to speak out against discrimination in favor of the women's suffrage movement. And she stated that she was concerned with what some of the civil rights leaders who felt equal rights for black men took precedence over black women, and that's a direct quote from History.com. Right, she collaborated frequently with a community of reformers that included Amy Post, Wendell Phillips, Lucretia Mott, and Susan B. Anthony, and she died in 1883, leaving behind a legacy of courage, faith, and fighting for what's right and honorable.
Hell
yes,
yeah.
Girl. Yes,
I'm about that.
Mm-hmm.
That's just, it's just crazy, though, how you hear these things that happened so long ago, but how it can be, of course, and this is a common thing in everything that we've been talking about so far in all of our episodes, but how it's replicated today. And you want to think, or you want to hope that for progression, and of course we have progressed, but also, why haven't we learned from our past issues and our past mistakes? Now that's like $1 million question. That's a very loaded question, and that can turn into a very political question. I'm not trying to be political. I'm just trying to be real. The fuck? What the hell, man?
It's something to leave you thinking.
Exactly. Exactly.
This happened in the 1800s, and I feel like we're still seeing this today, and the people are still doing what Sojourner did.
Right.
They're still advocating for the same things, which is equality for both men and women.
But that's people will take that as political, but the equality for how...
Why is that political?
Why is that political?
Why is equality political? Why are human rights and equality, why is that politics?
Yeah.
It's true.
It's true. It shouldn't be politics.
It's true. Thank you, Sojourner, because she did a lot for her time. She always spoke out for black women's rights and black men's rights, and she just did her best, and she was led by the Spirit. She always spoke her truth about God.
Yes. I'm here for it. All right. That. You need a drink break. Have y'all been hearing me chew on this ice? If you have been, I'm sorry, but it's delicious. Yeah. All right. Did you? No, that is not enough. You only drank a little sip.
I had 5.
No, I need you to make it half. Oh, she's halfway there. Whoa. Oh, take a rum nut. A rum nut. No. Suck on the rum nut.
Suck on that nut.
No, thank you.
Okay, so what I'm eating right now is the seeds.
You know you want to say it.
I'm sucking on these nuts.
Oh!
So these ones I use, there's so many of them if you want to see. There's a bunch of seeds that we have left over from whenever I made our drinks.
Mm-hmm. Because the pulp is still around it.
Yeah, the pulp is still around it, and it still has like a shit ton of like rum all over it. It's so amazing, guys. But I am getting like a little
It tastes like nail polish remover.
It does not.
It is straight up here. I will eat one live. This is not live, but I mean it's live right now. Okay, I'm done. Here we go.
All right, while they suck on their fruit.
First off, 1 second though. If you think Bacardi
I don't know Bacardi is gross. I'm just saying, like, it's just very... Y'all know me, I'm a bitch.
She means it's very concentrated.
Okay, I was gonna say, Bacardi doesn't taste like shit.
My boo-boo got me, bitch.
It's so fucking annoying.
You guys keep calling it a nut. It's just like, oh my gosh.
Is it not a nut?
It looks like a nut. Oh wait, what is that?
Is this poisonous?
I don't know. You might die.
Is it good?
Can try. Oh wait.
She apparently has.
You have several nuts in a bowl,
but I don't want to break my teeth to get into the inside.
Can someone look up and see if I'm gonna die?
No, it's okay. Okay, actually, maybe we should.
We're digressing. Okay, what is this?
All right, while Hannah looks up and see if Sherilyn's gonna die from eating the inside of this seed, not a nut. I'm gonna talk about Susan B. Anthony, and I'm gonna start with a quote by Susan B. Anthony, and it says, "I declare to you that women must not depend upon the protection of man, but must be taught to protect herself, and there I take my stand."
Hey, hair flip, yes.
Yes.
I'm feeling that.
Well, okay, so wow. Susan B. Anthony is one of the reasons, if not the main reason, why women can vote.
She the main baddie?
One of them.
How to eat monocellular without dying? Does this mean you don't eat the... Can you scroll? I have shit in my hand.
Okay, wait, hold up.
Hold on. Hebeda. I've been taught to bite/suck the flesh from the seed, but evidently the large seed poses a choking risk.
That's what they're talking about.
I'm not gonna choke.
Oh, that's what she said.
This is why Susan hated alcohol.
Yeah, exactly.
We're proving our point.
Here we go.
All right. I don't know if I should start with this quote again.
No.
Do it.
Yeah?
Yes?
Wait,
I don't know.
You already talked about it. No, it's fine.
What quote?
See, she doesn't know. Susan B. Anthony herself said, "I declare to you that women must not depend upon the protection of man, but must be taught to protect herself, and there I take my stand."
Yes, girl! Yes!
Welcome, Hannah. Welcome, Hannah.
All right, we're with it. We're caught up.
She is the leading figure in the women's voting rights movement. She went as far as getting arrested to prove her point that women should have the right to vote.
Yes.
Together with Elizabeth Cady Stanton, who we are going to talk about, they would travel the country giving speeches in favor of women's suffrage. They can't get over these seeds, man. So she was born in February 1820. Welcome back, Sherilyn. In Adams, Massachusetts. She was raised a Quaker and inspired early on by the Quaker belief that everyone was equal under God. Together with her family...
That's so interesting. Okay, first, can I go to the Quaker thing?
Yeah.
I didn't realize that Quakers believed like that, because what my image of Quakers was like peaceful and all that, but also like I thought they were so like conservative in the fact that like they thought like men not that men are better than women. I don't think just like preach that, but that's just interesting to me. We can cut this out later, but like you know what I mean? Like it's kind of like you and I get.
No, I get it. Yeah, because like
Like,
according
like
to the Bible,
thing,
it's like the man is the head of the household, and so everything that the man does, you have to follow.
Yeah,
right.
So that's interesting to me that Quakers, even though they were like super like Christian and everything, that they preach that.
Yeah, I get it, and if you were raised in a Christian household, you'll get it too.
For those of you who don't know, me and Evelyn are both from like super Christian households, which maybe you don't know, especially with me. On Potty Mouth, I'm sorry, Mom and Dad.
I'm sorry, Mom and Dad. Actually, me too. Sorry, Mom.
I'm apparently a heathen. It's fine. I don't care. I'm here.
So together with her family, they worked to end slavery as part of the abolitionist movement.
I'm getting bucked up off of these nuts, man.
Can you stop calling them nuts?
I'm like,
continue.
Anyway, listen to us.
You and I have to shut up.
Okay.
Her parents raised her and her siblings to be a very political and an active environment, and her 5 other siblings became activists for justice and emancipation for slavery. So when she was older, Anthony became a teacher, but gave that up when her family was having trouble having ends meet. Okay. So like she went to her family, very.
That makes sense.
But when she was there, when she went to her family, she met William Lloyd Garrison and Frederick Douglass, who were friends of her father's, because her fathers was all about ending slavery. And because she listened to these people talk, she was inspired by the 2 of them and decided to do more to help end slavery. And that's when she became an abolitionist activist and gave lots of passionate speeches against slavery, even though it was improper for a woman to give speeches.
Bullshit. I give speeches every damn day.
Yeah, you do.
Sorry, I choked on some flesh.
What is happening beside me? She devoted her time to the temperance movement. Which was the movement aimed to limit or completely stop the production of sales of alcohol. And I am staring at the 2 of you.
Susan just possessed your body.
Paranormal adventures.
She was denied the chance to speak at a temperance convention because she was a woman, and this is where she was inspired to shift her focus to fight for women's rights.
Hell yes, girl.
Because she realized that no one was going to take her seriously unless she had the oops. Let me try that again. Because she realized that no one was going to take her seriously unless she had the right to vote.
Hell yeah.
And she wrote, there never will be complete equality until women themselves help to make laws and elect lawmakers, which this has come to light.
Yes. So let's drink to that. So let's drink. I still have some.
Honestly, okay, honey. And by honey, I mean listeners. If you have never had a mamoncillo, can we take a moment to say how nice my pronunciation is? This
fucking bitch.
This is fucking high school Spanish, guys.
This high school Spanish, also known as Spanish lime.
Mamoncillo.
Mamoncillo.
Oh my god.
Mamoncillo.
If you guys have not had a Spanish lime, go
check
get some.
them out.
Oh my gosh, she busted a nut open. Listen, look.
You just took that out of my hand as I've been sucking on it. Is this where friendship is? Is where you're literally holding my spit on your hand?
You walk into my house uninvited. Uninvited, and open my cupboard.
That's true. She does do that.
She knows.
Any house that she goes into, she'll just be like, I'm thirsty, and open cupboard, drink water, and you're like, where did you get that from?
Fucking Sherilyn knows things about my house that I don't.
That's true.
She knows everything. But listen,
anyways,
if you're watching YouTube,
I don't know how much of this is actually.
This is what the inside of it looks like. It looks like an almond. Oh, it looks like oh my gosh. Like the inside of an almond.
Oh, Evelyn, I apologize.
No, you don't.
I apologize not in advance, in the middle.
Anyways, let's talk about the National Women's Suffrage Association.
All right, let's talk about them.
Let's get serious. I will tell you that I am fascinated, and I'm retaining a lot of this information, and I feel like I'm retaining it more that I'm tipsy than I would that I'm sober.
There you go. All right, cool. So, goals for this podcast.
Also, I think more deeply when I'm drunk.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
I think that's how this podcast came about.
Maybe. Oh, is this even recording?
Yeah, it is. Well, it should be. Why are you red?
Why is she red?
I have Asian flesh syndrome. It is hot in here. We have to turn off.
I'm not bad right now. I'm
Did
not
anyone
hot.
fucking ask
dying.
you?
I'm not hot, but I am hot.
Y'all, this just turned into a murder podcast. Somebody come get her. The editing for this, I'm sweet.
I'm not doing it. You are.
Oh, okay. Here we are.
All right. So in 1851, Anthony met Elizabeth Cady Stanton at an anti-slavery conference and they became good friends and worked together for over 50 years to fight for women's rights. All right. The two of them founded the National Women's Suffrage Association. The National Women's Suffrage Association in 1869 after Congress passed the 14th and 15th Amendment giving voting rights to African American men but not women. Right? They were so angry that they produced the Revolution.
The Revolution!
A weekly paper that helped spread ideas of equality and rights for women.
Okay.
All right. Its motto was men, their rights, and nothing more. Women's their rights and nothing less.
Yeah.
All right, and to make sure that this paper was to keep running, Anthony would lecture, and she used the money to pay for the paper and support the suffrage movement. And the association was created to push for a constitutional amendment to give women the rights to vote. Okay, so she continued to travel and give speeches around the country, and then she tried to convince others to support the women's rights to vote. She even, like I said before, she took the matter into her own hands and voted illegally in the presidential election of 1872, and I did not look up what that election was. So
I got you.
Sorry. So I don't know who won in 1872, but she was arrested.
Of course.
And fined $100, which she never paid.
Girl, yes!
Unpaid. And in 1888, she helped merge the Suffrage Association into one, calling it the National American Women's Suffrage Association, which she led until the 1900s. Did you find out what that presidential election was?
Okay, so Ulysses S. Grant defeated Liberal Republican nominee Horace Greeley. So Grant won.
Okay, in 1905, she met with the President Theodore Roosevelt in D.C. to lobby for the amendment to give women the right to vote. And one time she said that she wished she would live another century to see the fruition of her works.
Oh my gosh, that'd be awesome.
Right.
And it's like, I wonder what watching over, being like...
Right. She died 14 years before women can vote.
Really?
Oh. So she never saw it. Okay, she said, to think I have had more than 60 years of hard struggle for a little liberty and then to die without it seems so cruel. So she fought and fought and fought and fought and fought, and she never got to see women vote.
Her fight was not in vain, though.
It wasn't. And the 19th Amendment is nicknamed the Susan B. Anthony Amendment in her honor.
Yes.
And the Treasury actually put her on the $1 coin in 1979.
Oh!
I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah, right? I didn't know that either.
That's really cool.
Yeah, and so she was the first woman with that honor.
We voting to this day because of you.
Yeah, we got to vote yesterday because of you. And so I hope that all the women out there took advantage of that and had your voice heard. Ooh. But this is the end of Susan B. Anthony, so we got another
little break.
A little break.
Which means you need a drink.
I'm gonna drink. Sorry,
my drink.
Sorry, Susan.
There's two. Sponsor break. Hi. If we wouldn't get so fucked up, we could probably do these all in one take. But here we are. All right, I do need a urinate.
I feel like either way, we're gonna have to edit it anyway, in order for it to be interesting.
All right, ready for this? You ready for this? Don't fucking move it. Don't fucking move it, Hannah. Okay.
Why do you say Hannah?
Because you were staring at it.
All right, guys. Last person.
All right,
so Elizabeth Cady Stanton, she worked closely with Susan B. Anthony, so there's not a lot extra I'm going to say about her.
Okay.
I'm just going to kind of throw some background information and other things, but there's not as much. Okay? So, who was Elizabeth?
Yes! That was beautiful. We had a moment.
Who was Elizabeth?
All right,
take it away, Evelyn.
She was an author, lecturer, philosopher of women's rights and suffrage movement. She formulated the agenda for women's rights that guided the struggle well into the 20th century, and that is from history.com. So Elizabeth was born in November of 1815 in Johnston, New York.
So she was actually truly from there. Like some people.
Like
so
me.
Sherilyn and her, I'm from New York, but she left when she was 11.
My
formative young years were spent being a New
Okay, so
Yorker
this has
on
been-
the city streets of Queens.
Okay, maybe
So
we
this
should
has
take
been
this up.
our debate.
Yo.
Okay, because I was a military brat. I'm not a brat, but I was a military child.
Okay.
And
Oh, it's such a time. Roasted.
well then,
She's been Hanan attacked. You've been Hanan attacked. You're welcome. Welcome to the club, bitch. We can start shit talking her now.
Okay.
Sherilyn left New York when she was 11, but she considers herself from New York.
I am, because listen, fellow New Yorkers, y'all know you get into that mindset. You have that New York mindset.
New York
okay?
state of
so,
mind.
yes,
Ooh.
after New York, shout out, Queens, I moved up to Massachusetts for 2 years, and then I moved down here, right? Now, I went to 8th grade here, and then I went to high school. So, yeah, I know, like,
In college.
ain't nobody asked.
In college.
I mean, I know, like, I went here. I'm here. But I just don't really consider myself from here. Yes, is this my home? Of course, I've lived here for a while. Do I consider New York my home? No. Because I'm not, obviously.
Okay.
That makes a lot
Yeah.
more sense now that you actually like
Explained
break it
yourself.
down.
Okay.
But at the same token, okay, you said you were here during 8th grade, right?
Yeah.
I moved to Pensacola when I was in 6th grade, but I do consider myself from Pensacola, even though I spent
Weird.
6 years in Spain from year
Yeah.
5 to year 11, and then I came here, but I consider myself from here, even though I don't have the accent from here.
Yeah.
I don't have the Pensacola mentality,
know.
but I consider myself from here because I've been here the longest. I've been here for,
Okay.
I don't even know, years.
Don't throw me under the bus here, New Yorkians. Listen, okay? You're my people.
I'm totally from Pensacola. Like, I've been living here for 2 years.
Yeah.
What a very
at
long
me.
break that had nothing to do with the women's right to vote. But I hope you guys learned something about us, I guess. Or again,
If it makes it in. You know.
If I cut all this
or
out.
you may cut it all out. I don't know.
Anyways,
All right.
okay, so she
Yes.
was born in Johnstown, New York, to a
Got that.
well-known lawyer who wanted another son but had a daughter, and
Okay.
was like, "I wish
Always
you were a
reminded
son."
her.
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh,
I
that's
get it
awful.
now.
Yeah,
Yes.
isn't it?
That sucks. Shitty parent.
This made her work harder and try to dominate other male
Yeah.
jobs,
Yeah.
and she gained an informal legal education by listening to her father talk to colleagues. Okay. So because she was a well-educated woman, she went to school and stuff, and she did marry an abolitionist named Henry Stanton.
Yeah.
Right? But Stanton, when she was married, she refused to use the word obey in her wedding vows, which was a
Right.
big deal.
Yeah.
So, shout out to her.
Is in the wedding vows?
I guess so, back then.
Maybe,
have no idea.
I will obey my husband or his whatever
Views.
I
I don't know.
Yeah.
I didn't look up old wedding vows. Maybe you want to do that right now.
I just feel like it would say something like, I obey my husband.
What were the vows? Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. Take you to be my husband, to have and to hold from this day forward, for better, for worse, for richer or poorer, in sickness and in health, to love, cherish, and obey. Okay, let's move forward.
Moving forward. Now we know.
And they honeymooned to London, where they attended a World Anti-Slavery Society. So, she met someone named Lucretia Mott, who also met Anthony later in her life, and they were both very angry about the exclusion of women. And 8 years later, they held the first women's right convention in somewhere in New York. All right? And Stanton authorized the Declaration of Sentiments, and this was modeled after Declarations of Independence. Quoted. Anyways, so the document offered examples of how men oppress women, like they prevent them from owning their own land and earning wages, prevented them from voting, compelled them to submit the law created without their representation. They gave men the authority in divorce and child custody proceedings and decisions, preventing them from gaining a college education, prevent them from participating in most public church affairs, subjecting them to a different moral code than men, and aiming to make them dependent and submissive to men. So
That was
That's
a
a lot,
That was
right?
heavy.
she wrote all of that. But she had that informal legal education because
Right.
her dad was a lawyer, and then her husband ended up being a lawyer too because he studied under the dad. Yeah, in 1851, Stanton met Anthony, and they were very different, but they worked well together. All right? So, direct quote from womenshistory.com, their intellectual and organization partnership dominated the women's movement for over half a century. That's end quote. When Stanton couldn't travel, she wrote speeches for Anthony to deliver. So she was actually the mastermind behind all of Anthony's speeches. Okay, so also wanted to note that in the late 1860s, she began to advocate for measures women can take to avoid getting pregnant, aka birth control.
Thank you, I didn't realize they had it back in the day.
I didn't either, but she became an advocate for it.
That's awesome.
They had it back in fucking Egypt.
Oh, they did.
That's
well,
true.
They're fucking cloth condoms. Ow.
As we learned.
If you're just hopping in for this episode, make sure you go 2 episodes back to learn about ancient Egypt condoms. That was a fun one.
So what kind of birth control did they have?
I don't know. I didn't research it.
She was just an advocate
She
for
was
it.
an advocate for it. Although women were granted the right to vote 2 decades after she died, her death and her efforts were not left in vain, as she left behind a valid legacy.
Yeah.
Because all her efforts, along with Susan B. Anthony, allowed us to have the right to vote.
Yes.
And Truth was just a badass. And she really did a lot for Black Americans.
Awesome.
She did.
So, welcome to the wall of badasses.
It was some wild times during that episode. Hannah and I apologize. Right now for everything that occurred. Listeners, you probably won't get to listen to most of it because it will be cut out. things got crazy. But
Maybe
of
we'll
course,
come up with like a podcast of things that get cut out.
That happens on this. Oh my gosh, that would be wild. Or that could be like a bonus episode. Okay, anyways, we will get there.
We will see you next time.
Okay, bye.
Bye.